Thank you, team, for everyone who's here today. And we want to welcome you to our final session for this school year of the Michigan Learning Channel's Professional Learning Series, where we connect the essentials to what's happening on Read, Write, Roar with Michigan Learning Channel. My name is Annie Spear, and I am an early literacy professional learning coordinator at the Michigan Association of Intermediate School Administrators, also known as MESA. And I am also a first grade teacher, which I am honored to have the privilege of doing for the Michigan Learning Channel for Read, Write, Roar. And I also have the chance to work with the amazing coaches that support this work that you'll learn a little bit more about later. If you did not know yet, we have some wonderful people behind the scenes, and one of them is Susan Townsend, who I don't think could make it today. She is our director of all things literacy and our projects at MESA. But Susan, if you're here, please unmute and say hi. And while I'm seeing if she is here, the other person I want you to be able to say hello to is Dr. Rhonda Provost, who has been an amazing coordinator for our work with MESA and the Michigan Learning Channel. Hi, Rhonda, if you want to say hello to everybody.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to our last session today.
Thanks, Rhonda. So welcome. So glad you're here. Again, you can put your name in the chat if you'd like to let us know who you are being here with us today. And while my first grade partner, Sharnita Rogers, who's amazing out of Wayne, says she cannot be in the room with us today, but she will be sharing with us. She did some pre-recording for us today, so we'll be able to hear from her, even if not in our actual space. And what we are learning and talking about today is family engagement and summer learning. And so while our work here through MESA and Read, Write, Roar is mostly focused on the literacy programming, we are going to get a chance to talk about other programming available on the Michigan Learning Channel. There's so much there for you. Before we get started, we do want to let you know that there are a lot of things that we have to offer you in the chat. And the first one is going to be a link to the essential instructional practices in early literacy for your reference. So this will be the K-3 essentials. And what we want you to know is that those are the how. That's how we teach children the instructional practices that are grounded in literacy that were put together to help guide the work we do in Michigan. But we also want you to know we ground things in our standards. And so you're also going to get a link to the Michigan ELA standards. And the standards are the what. They're what we're expected to teach at each grade level, and that we really try to work to align all of our Read, Write, Roar literacy essentials lessons to. All of the materials that you see today will be available to you at the close of this session. And I don't know if you know this, but make sure you stay on to the end, because if you complete the sketch form, one of you will have a chance to win a full book set of the summer learning booklets and get those sent to you for your classroom. Or if you're a coach, maybe you're gifting them to someone that you've been working with this year that you want to thank. So I've said a lot. You'll be getting some things into the chat for you. And we want to thank our sponsor today. Mimic has sponsored this work, and we will hear more from them at the end in a little video that helps you know about different grant opportunities that they offer to educators. That learner guide is coming into the chat again. And as it is, we just want to review, if you don't know about the Michigan Learning Channel, we want you to know that it is a 24/7 over-the-air broadcast channel that is available to you through your local PBS station throughout all of Michigan. And we're also available at michiganlearning.org. So there you can find live streaming, and you can find on-demand episodes, which are searchable. That's still in the works, but you can search some of them by Michigan Learning Standard. There's learner guides, and there's extension activities for you to take advantage of from many of the programs beyond even Read, Write, Roar. We also want to let you know, if you didn't know this, that there are other ways to get access to the Michigan Learning Channel content and to Read, Write, Roar episodes. So the Michigan Learning Channel is now available on Spectrum Cable in Northern Michigan. So you can check your local channels to make sure that you can find the correct channel for that. There's also a select number of Read, Write, Roar episodes that are going to be run on demand with Comcast. And then, of course, we know that there is the Michigan Learning Channel.org where you can get to things, or your local station. But one of the things I love to use is the Michigan Learning Channel. It's a Detroit Public Television app that has a Michigan Learning Channel selection you can make at the top. And that's a great way to access things. But another thing is that the Michigan Learning Channel programs are available on pbs.org and through the apps for the PBS, through smartphone and through smart TV apps. So Roku and Apple TV, there's an app for pbs.org, and you can get access to our Read Write Roar episodes there as well. Lots of ways so you can see what's going on Read Write Roar. One of the things that we really wanted to make sure is that in this partnership with Detroit Public Television and Mesa, we wanted to have teacher representation from around the state. So we have an updated map that you're going to have access to, so you can see where the teachers and coaches are from throughout the state that have supported all this work throughout this process. And even though there's been changes throughout the year, this new snapshot tells you all the teachers and coaches involved from the beginning. So thank you, Dr. Provost, for updating that for us. And then another exciting thing you've heard me mention already are engagement coordinators, who many are in the room with us today. One of the goals with the Learning Channel is helping educators. And so as a part of that mission, there are engagement coordinators at stations that are spread all throughout the state. So if you want to know more about Michigan Learning Channel or have a chance to have someone come and present at your school, really want to get in touch with these amazing engagement coordinators who can come and do that work with you, and maybe even bring you some neat things that they have at their own stations. So please do get in touch with them, and later have a chance to get into some breakout rooms with them as well. So what are we doing today? A lot of things. But the first thing we're going to do, I mentioned that Shanita Rogers, who's my amazing first grade teaching partner, is going to be sharing an episode. Even though she's not in the room, we'll see a video with her. And then we have a chance to talk and learn from Matt Hamilton, who's Michigan Learning Channel's program director. So Matt, I don't know if you want to say hi for everyone, just a quick hello.
Hi.
So there he is, and you'll hear a lot more from him later. Again, that learner guide is coming into the chat for you. And we also have a sign-in form that we would like you to use. It asks which ISD you're in, and if you're not sure, there's an ISD map so you can get that information. Okay, so we're going to start thinking now about, after Shanita talks today, Matt is going to be giving us a whole overview of all the things with summer learning and everything. You have so much to learn about, even just listening to him when we were talking a few minutes ago, more things that I didn't know about. So there's just endless opportunity with the summer learning and Michigan Learning Channel. One of the things we have never done in our professional learning is really just specific grounding to a different set of resources, which are the school-wide and center-wide practices in literacy. And so we really want to help you to know that the work that the Michigan Learning Channel and this partnership with Mesa really aligns to that, because Essential 9 in that says it calls for us to have an ambitious summer reading initiative to support reading growth. So if we look at the last bullet, it says providing structured guidance to parents and guardians to support reading at home, such as by encouraging parents and guardians to listen to their child read aloud, discuss books with their child, and provide feedback on their child's reading. And we'll have a chance to hear from Shanita around that today. But the other essential that we can connect to today is Essential 10, where it says there's a network of connections in the community which provides authentic purposes and audiences for children's work and helps facilitate the use of quality out-of-school programming. So this programming, some teachers are using this in their classrooms, but certainly for summer learning, this is out-of-school programming. And so there are several things in your learner guide, and one of them, if you are using Michigan Learning Channel, that's going to be great. If you're thinking about other summer programming, there's an early literacy task force document that's in there about summer reading that's based in research. So you can look at that document. And one of the things as you think about today and getting families ready, the work that Dr. Jimmy Kim does with his Reads for Summer Learning initiative started at Harvard University. He has like an onboarding that he does with families where he trains them and has there's like a family night where they come in and they learn just different interactions to have with children. And so as you think about all the things Matt shares today, and we think about the ways you frame your summer reading, you may think about those types of interactions, and you can read more about that in that early literacy task force document that is in the chat for you. So what's really exciting when we think about aligning to this is that Michigan Learning Channel is built in and it's ready to access, and it's a partnership that everyone can get to. So we're going to talk more with those engagement coordinators so you can find out how to connect where you are. And then we're going to get back to our literacy essentials. So one of the things that this is connected to is Essential 1, because Essential 1 is centered on fostering motivation and engagement. And we've discussed this in our other professional learning this year, but today I want to focus on bullets 1 and 2. The first bullet about creating opportunities for children to see themselves as successful writers, and then daily opportunities for them to make choices. I mean, everybody needs to feel successful to feel good, right? And everyone needs to feel they are set up to be successful in order to be motivated and engaged and to actually achieve success. So we hope that the tools we give you today in our presentation are going to help you as teachers or administrators or as coaches or parents to have structures to support children over the summer with their literacy development. One of the things teachers do within lessons of Michigan Learning Channel is we try to build confidence by being really clear and explicit about what we're trying to explain. We try and encourage interaction with kids at home, but again, we invite them to participate, but it's very low stakes, and all you need is something to write with and something to write on. So it could be scrap paper and a broken pencil that just has lead in it, or a crayon, nothing really difficult for families. That was the goal when we did this. And then when we think about how we can promote success for kids to know their success criteria, we're going to introduce later on a planning guide for kids that would help them have choices connected to bullet 2. So they might have certain things they have to do, but then you might have ways to build in choice for them as well. And you can use that template in your work, which we will show you later. Lastly, bullet 3, the lessons on Michigan Learning Channel lend themselves to see a model of how children might do different activities, okay? And beyond like a school task of reading and writing, and make literacy hopefully really connected to real world. So for example, one of the things that we do in this past marking periods, I got to go out and interview a librarian and try and show families and children all the things at a library. And so they might feel more comfortable going to a library. Shannon Fuller in 2nd grade went out and did a walk right along Lake Michigan and talked about erosion. We had Jody Pung, who went to a community pizza shop. And there's lots of different ways we try and really show authentic engagement with literacy, and hope that you will find that yourselves as well. And the other essential we want to think about today is Essential 8 and book access. So it's really important that children have access to books and they have abundant reading material. So when we think about this, Read, Write, Roar provides students ability to access, connect with high quality reading materials in their homes because we're reading books to them. And more importantly, we really strive to provide connections through diversity and culture within the text that we read. We hope that families can tune in daily or utilize the website to provide access to those rich community connections in literature. And we really do try and encourage them to be readers and writers themselves. So what I can tell you is this whole team has worked really hard, directors, producers, coaches, teachers, to try and create text that would be engaging and diverse and high quality and connected as we planned episodes. And Matt will be sharing some more about that in just a bit. But around text and importance of text, the other bullet and essentially wanted to connect to is Essential 2, which talks about the importance of text sets. And so we did create our units with text sets in mind. And this is an example of a set of text we used in 1st grade in the 2nd marking period from 201 to 216. And the question we were centered around was, how does the daytime and nighttime sky change each day and throughout the year? So we know with Essential 2, and we think about bullet 1, that with studies by Dr. Tanya Wright and her colleagues Servetti and Huang in 2016, if you have text sets, they proved that children, when they're exposed to those, and they're around the same topic, they not only get really good at the vocabulary they're reading of those books, but they pick up incidental words as well over time. And then they also have more knowledge about the topic and they have more recall. So we really tried to provide text sets and multiple experiences around the same topic with the same types of words. So if you don't know about Dr. Wright, read some of her articles. She's really supportive in this work into our network as a whole. So again, you'll be able to see those, and Matt's going to share some text sets with you later. So the last essential, that's the big one for today, is Essential 10 that we really want to connect to around family engagement. And when we think about a community, it says that we want to collaborate with families in promoting literacy. So thinking about community and Essential 10, it focuses on that collaboration, and we feel we provide students and families with opportunity to form and belong to our read, write, roar community. Even though we're not in a space together, we really do try and be specific in connecting with kids. But we hope that we offer this unique opportunity for teachers and family and children because this content is available across the entire state. So it's kind of like a Michigan community that we provide. And again, that the teachers in the show are from all over the state. So we have different representation from different people across the state, but we still give a consistent message. And we use the literacy essentials to really try and align the work that we're doing so it'll be high quality and research supported. Because if we have consistency for literacy, that's really imperative to growth. And the goal is that all children have access to high quality instruction and that all families can feel successful and that we can provide tools for them so that they can support their children. So we do hope that the work that we're doing, you'll feel supported with that. And overall, like the goal is that we empower families so they can feel really good about the things they're doing with their children. And so they could watch episodes and see models of things that we do. But you as the teachers and coaches and administrators in this room can really empower them to say, hey, let's think about this episode. What could you do at home? And we're going to be able to see a little bit of that right now with our amazing Sharnita Rogers. But one of the things I will tell you is that as a mom, I was like, where was this when my kids were little, right? When you're at the grocery store, if you could have an app and click on like Michigan Learning Channel and have the kids watch a video on like letter sound instruction. But also the DPTV app has other things like Daniel Tiger, which is one of my favorites, or things like that. So just know this is available online, but when you're out and about, it's giving high quality ways to engage as well. If you don't have that exact moment to do a lot of that teaching and supporting, you can still be supporting kids by giving them a higher quality access thing to watch. So anyhow, Sharnita's going to introduce some things for us right now and help us think about her connection to Essential 10.
Good afternoon. My name is Sharnita Rogers. I am a K-3 ELA COSA, Coach on Special Assignment, working at Chandler Park Academy. I also have the wonderful honor to work with the Michigan Learning Channel as a first grade teacher. I'm really excited to talk to you today about Essential 10, which is collaboration with families in promoting literacy. We're going to look at read alouds and family engagement.
Essential 10 reminds us that educators help families add to their repertoire of strategies for promoting literacy at home. We're going to think about bullet number 1 and how we can support families to prompt children during reading and writing and demonstrate ways to incorporate literacy promoting strategies into everyday activities such as cooking, communicating with friends and family, and traveling in the bus or car. Books with colorful illustrations are a great way to engage children in sharing their thoughts. As teachers, you may introduce a topic of concern that you wish to have a conversation about, like bullying, making friends, feeling confident, or even interacting with family members. It's a wonderful way to ask children questions about what they think and how they feel related to the text. After reading the book, you can segue to asking questions about what is currently happening in your children's lives. In the read aloud that you will see shortly, you will notice that prior to reading the book, I provide a brief summary of what we will encounter in the book, in addition to asking what experiences students may have had that is similar to the story. As I read the story, I invite you to think about the different strategies I use to engage children in the read aloud. As you note these, think about how you might share these engagement strategies with families so they can support children with read alouds at home. As you watch the video, you will have a chance to jot down your thoughts on a reflection guide that we are going to put in the chat. When you click on the link to the reflection form, it will bring up a screen that asks you to make a copy. That way, you can use the form to record your own ideas. After viewing, we will put you into groups to share your reflections and questions. Let's get started. Hello, amazing learners. It's Miss Rogers, and I have a fun story to read to you today. It's about a girl called Mean Jean, and she's known as the recess queen. She's kind of a bully who tells kids what to do. No one dares to question her power until a new girl named Katie Sue comes to the school. Have you ever played with someone who is bossy, who tries to tell you what to do all of the time? How does that make you feel? Well, let's read this book together and see what happens. We're reading this book with permission from Scholastic, and the title is The Recess Queen, written by Alexis O'Neill and Laura Huliska Beef. Let's get started. Mean Jean was recess queen, and nobody said any different. Nobody swung until Mean Jean swung. Nobody kicked until Mean Jean kicked. Nobody bounced until Mean Jean bounced. Look at her facial expression. Now look at all the children. They look a little scared to me. Say what? Mean Jean growled. Say who? Mean Jean howled. Say you. Just who do you think you're talking to? Mean Jean always got her way. Until one day. Nobody swings until Queen Jean swings. Nobody kicks until Queen Jean kicks. Nobody bounces until Queen Jean bounces. And she figured that would set the record straight. She figured wrong. Katie Sue talked back, just as sassy as could be. She said, "How did you get so bossy?" Then that puny thing, that loony thing, grabbed the ball and bounced away. Oh, look at Mean Jean. She has steam coming out of her ears. Her face is turned all types of ways. Well, let's see what's going to happen next. Then from her pack pulled Katie Sue, a jump rope, clean and bright. "Hey, Jeanie Beanie," sang Katie Sue. "Let's try this jump rope out. Here's one thing true. Until that day, no one dared ask Mean Jean to play. But that Katie Sue just hopped and jumped and skipped away." So no one ever asked the recess queen to play. How would that make you feel if you were never asked to play? That might explain why she's so mean. Let's read on. "I like ice cream. I like tea. I want Jean to jump with me." Jean just gaped. Ah, that's a word. Gaped. Gaped means to stare in surprise. Jean just gaped and stared as if too scared to move at all. In the previous pages, all of the students were scared. Now it's her turn. But she's not scared because someone's being mean to her. She's scared because this has never happened before. So Katie Sue sang once more. "I like popcorn. I like tea. I want Jean to jump with me." The rope whizzed and slapped. Faster, faster. The rope spun and flapped. Faster, faster, till it caught in a tangled disaster. But they just giggled and jumped again. Oh, that was an amazing story. We saw how two people work together to make a wonderful time playing together.
As I said in the chat, I just love listening to Sharnita read. I've been listening to her read today. She's so wonderful. So you can picture children and families across Michigan and beyond listening to her voice. So what we're going to do is give you a chance to get into some breakout rooms and be thinking about the following questions or other things you might want to discuss. So did you notice any new practices that you would want to implement? And then thinking about, in terms of this being summer learning and connecting with families, like how might you encourage parents to use a read aloud to be able to connect with their child on a topic or start a conversation or support reading strategies such as reading with fluency, reading with expressions, stopping at periods, all those things. So what we hope that you can do is get into a space. So you have your reflection guide already. You may have just jotted things down, and that's just fine. When you get into these spaces for breakout rooms, you're going to be in, we're going to have you choose by your region. So they will open up and these are going to be self-selected. So you just get to pick the room you want to go into, and you're going to be choosing that based upon where you are in the state of Michigan. And our hope is that means you're going to be in a room with an engagement coordinator that is in your region, so you can meet your engagement coordinator. So we'll be in there about 5 minutes and then come back, and Matt's going to share some more with us about the specifics of the summer reading program. Welcome back. I hope all of you had a few minutes to talk. I know it's never enough time. We will have another breakout room, so you should be able to pick the same room again. Is there anyone who wants, so we can put some ideas in the chat of how it went or anything that stuck out to you as a takeaway? And maybe if a few of you even want to unmute and share, we could hear a couple of ideas. Also, so you know, the learner guide is put back into the chat. So some people, sometimes you get kicked out of Zoom. So if you got kicked out and now you're back, the learner guide's in there for you.
Annie, this is Jen Jess at Sharon.
Hi.
Hi. One of the things I was thinking as we were watching to the read aloud is just like how these videos, and I haven't seen them yet on the Michigan Learning Channel, but how they give parents access to lots of books. I know that's one of our concerns is just, having enough books in the home and a variety of those high level, like high conversation books. And so this is kind of a way that maybe we can promote talking around those higher level read alouds at home.
Thank you, Jen. That's amazing. That's exactly, we do hope for that, right? And so the other thing today, we're going to give you the second marking period book list for all the grade levels. And so one of the things, like our local librarian is like, if you give me the list, I can order them for the library. So even if people get money or librarians want to order books, then you can have those books so kids can actually hold them, right? So thank you, Jen. That's exactly one of the things we hoped for, is that Essential 8 book access for kids. Also, Mel does have a lot of the books, mel.org. So it's another opportunity, not the same as holding them, but thanks, Jen. Any other? Oh,
Annie, it's Melissa. Building upon what Jen said. Hey, Jen. It's also a way for people go on vacation and they don't want to pack all the books. And here's a nice way if we can get people to use their phones, and the kids can watch a video on there when they're in the car, when they're cranky. So then they can have a conversation about it, like while they're on vacation. So this doesn't need to just happen at home. It can happen at grandma's house. It can happen, hey, we're at the beach or we're on vacation or we're in the car. There are so many places that people could utilize. And that wasn't a very long book, so it doesn't take a lot of time either.
That is the hope. And just if you've never watched a video before, so they're basically split. We have about 26 minutes, but that includes any of the commercials and all that. So each teacher teaches for about 12 minutes and 30 seconds. each episode. And kindergarten each does a whole episode each, but they're not that long. So we pack things in, and sometimes we're just looking at different pieces of a book even, but it might just kind of elicit interest for kids, right? So we just read a little piece of it, but if they know they can get it at their library or they have the name of the book, that might also entice them to go and look for that book someplace. So thank you, Melissa and Jen, for your great comments. And we're going to show you now that there is an activity sheet that goes with. So the things that you were thinking about making those connections. And, as many of you noticed, Sharnita's just such an amazing seasoned teacher, the way she uses her voice. So even having parents attend to that, like how she's using her voice, the way that she looked at the text type, like if it's large, reading with a louder voice, right? If it's smaller, reading with a smaller voice. And so things like that you can tell families about. But these activity sheets, here's an example from, this is episode 308. So it shows the vocabulary that she focused on, so that amused and gazed gives a little gaped, it gives a little definition of it. And then on the bottom, it gives an opportunity if kids want to think about a time when they included somebody that was feeling left out, and just a chance, like, who was that person? And then how did you help? And how did you feel after you helped? Just things like that we can prompt kids to make those text to self connections. And then on the right-hand side, we did a word ladder in that one. So that was my portion of the teaching in this one, where we worked on those phonological skills and that connection of phonemes to graphemes and working your way up the ladder. So that's an example from 308, and there's one of those for every episode. So now I've done a lot of talking, so I'm going to turn things over to the amazing Matt Hamilton. So Matt, take it away.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Annie. And I know Sharnita's not here with us, but thank you for that awesome lesson. Modeling gets me excited about reading some bedtime stories to my kids tonight. But and part of why I'm excited about that is because I'm actually a former educator, but I'm a secondary educator. So whenever I could steal a chance to do a read aloud in my classroom, I would, but we certainly didn't do it as much as some of y'all get to at different levels. But I'm currently the program director for the Michigan Learning Channel. So I get to be here today to kind of wrap us back to, we have these awesome resources around literacy, the literacy essentials, the individual essentials, the school-wide essentials that Annie's talked to us a little bit about. You got kind of a taste of our kind of capstone show, Read, Write, Roar. And I want to talk to you more about our summer learning program, which takes those pieces and expands on them. And so what's really exciting to me is we have an opportunity here to build on what you all have been learning about and talking about in this series. And then also I want to introduce you to so much more that's available through the Michigan Learning Channel. So the first thing that I want to talk about is just that we've built this summer learning program around really what we want to happen with learning over the summer, right? We know we're always talking about over the summer, there's this summer slide, there's the potential for learning loss. We want kids to have a break. We want them to have fun. We want them to go on vacation, and we want to make sure they are prepared to come back to school the following year. And so the Michigan Learning Channel, all of the resources that are available year round are also available during the summer. And that includes our educational resources that are connected directly to learning standards. So we're excited about that. We've also put a ton of work into making sure that our content that's available over the summer is fun and engaging. So we've got the shows that you can share with families. We've got activities. I'm going to talk about the activity books. We've even got some live events that we have planned over the summer to help families be engaged and to see Michigan Learning Channel as a resource that is educational and fun. And we'll talk about the ways that we've tried to build that up. And just one more reminder, the third bullet point here, we're really thinking about these school-wide and center-wide practices, the essentials 9 and 10, thinking about how we're engaging, we're empowering students and families, and collaborating across our communities to support student learning. So you'll see what we just dropped in the chat is a second reflection guide for you. And we're going to have another space to actually reflect and participate in small group conversation in a little bit. We wanted to give you this reflection guide this time up top because I'm going to go through a ton of information about our resources and our website and our summer activity books. We wanted to make sure we gave you a place to jot down some notes as you go. So as I take you on this really quick tour of what we have available, feel free to have that open and jot down what sounds exciting and what you might be able to bring into your work with your families. All right. So with the Michigan Learning Channel, what we're really excited about for this summer in particular is we've kind of landed on a framework for how we're delivering learning materials, curriculum, adjacent activities, as well as that fun content that we want to share with kids over the summer. So we've got weekly themes and we've got this learn, do, explore framework, which encourages learners to engage in their learning in active ways. We want to encourage you all to leverage these weekly themes and the learn, do, and explore framework as you prepare students and families for summer by maybe wrapping your own content around the themes during the last couple of weeks of school, by maybe sharing your own book list, your own curricular resources, reminders of what you've talked about over the year, kind of teasers about what's coming up next year. And whatever else you can find that align with these themes and get kids excited about summer and about learning in general. So we have that available for you. We have an educator guide that we're going to share, and you'll get a little bit more of a glimpse of in a video that we're going to show you next as well. We want you to know that in addition to the Michigan Learning Channel themes and framework, we also partner with our PBS TV stations across the state. And so we have access to the whole suite of PBS Kids content. So the Michigan Learning Channel airs PBS Kids shows featuring the characters that all of our young people already know and love. And then our summer activity books in particular feature activity pages directly from PBS with characters like Daniel Tiger, Molly of Denali, our buds from Hero Elementary, and so much more. So we're super excited to be able to provide that and engage kids with all that stuff that they're already familiar with. And then we have had an opportunity to build in additional content for the Michigan Learning Channel, like free science programming, math lessons, writing opportunities, health and physical education videos, and other learning materials. So I want to make sure I encourage you all to explore the website. Beyond our literacy stuff, there's so much else out there. It's all aligned with learning standards. It's all engaging. It's meant for the young people that you serve and your families. We are also co-hosting live events all summer. So we're really excited to engage families and try out this opportunity to use the digital space as an opportunity, not just to deliver content, but also to have interactive opportunities. We've partnered with a Michigan creator, Wimmy's Words, which is an interactive show featuring a lovable robot who encourages kids to learn through creativity. And we're going to be hosting a live show with them every Wednesday. We are also excited to co-host watch parties with Great Lakes Now, which encourages kids to learn about and explore the amazing Great Lakes and connected water systems in our region. So science opportunity there. You'll want to encourage families to stay connected on our Facebook page and by signing up for our newsletter for these events. And then finally, we really want families to know that the Michigan Learning Channel is accessible all summer long. We're going to preview our website next, and you can see where we showcase a calendar of events where all of our amazing engagement coordinators will be appearing live at library events, summer festivals, and all kinds of other opportunities where we want to encourage families to get out there and participate. We want to encourage you all to share, again, this local list with families, encourage them to check it regularly because we're updating it all summer long. And we'll also share in your learner guide a link to the newsletter that families can sign up for, because that we're going to offer weekly updates throughout the summer to keep everybody engaged. So now that you have all of that, that's sort of my preview of maybe like the top hits. Now, we're going to actually take a tour of the website because that's where all this stuff lives, and it's super exciting to see what's available. So let's take a look.
Summer is fun with the Michigan Learning Channel. Visit michiganlearning.org/summer to preview our summer content and see all of the ways we are helping students and families learn, do, and explore all summer long. On MichiganLearning.org, you can sign up to participate in our summer program as a parent or caregiver. Or you can click to go to our teacher page and sign up your class or school. Signing up means we will send reminders all summer, so you can stay on top of our weekly themes, live events, and other fun stuff. We have also made it easy to share our summer activity books, which are available in grade band groupings or as individual books for kindergarten through 3rd grade. The website has files that you can download and print anywhere, totally free. When you share our activity books with families, you are giving students access to tons of fun activity sheets that go along with their favorite PBS Kids shows, as well as our original Michigan Learning Channel programs that are aligned with Michigan Learning Standards. The activity books also have weekly bingo sheets that encourage kids to learn, do, and explore, and a helpful guide for caregivers so that they can support their child's learning all summer long. Of course, you're never alone when you work with the Michigan Learning Channel. Our statewide network of engagement coordinators are waiting to hear from you, and you can find their contact info at the bottom of our summer program page. We also have a MLC in the Community page where you can find our engagement coordinators in person all summer long. Make sure to share with your students and families. Finally, you can find all of this and more in our Educator Guide, which has sample materials you can print and share with families, as well as weekly themes, live events, content previews, and connections to Michigan Learning Standards, so that you can customize how your students stay engaged all summer long.
So there's so much on there. Again, that's why we really want to encourage you to take a little bit of time and actually explore what's available. That summer book is huge, and is really meant to be something that families can use all summer long. We don't want it to be overwhelming. There's a family engagement guide at the beginning that helps families and parents figure out how to actually use it. And then, as you saw, opportunities all summer long to engage and just have fun with learning. We really wanted to highlight this scope and sequence that is, this is actually in the Educator Guide, which was highlighted as well. So that's going to be a really awesome resource for you all to think about how you can use these materials and share them out. So we put this together so that you can think about how we have been really intentional about aligning our lessons with these themes, and what we're offering to families all summer long, to think about how we're reinforcing topics that you all have done such an amazing job teaching, preparing students for topics that are going to show up. But you can see, and they're linked, the episodes of Read, Write, Roar and Math Mites where they show up and how they align. If you want to kind of use this to kind of customize and think about what you want to share with families, or just directly share it out before families head out for summer. And then the other super exciting piece that we were able to put together, and this will be available in that learner guide that we keep sharing out with you, is the book list that we've already talked about, making sure our families have access to books in all kinds of different ways so that they can engage around reading. So we've taken all the books that are featured within the Read, Write, Roar shows that are going to be aired over the summer, and provided you with this list. So you can do lots of different things with this. If there are opportunities to send books home with kids from within your school, if you have a connection with your local librarian to make sure they have a few copies of each of these, if you want to educate families on the Michigan Electronic Library so that they can actually order these books or find them. A lot of libraries have the virtual or audiobook option. So there's lots of different opportunities. We just wanted to make it easy for you to see, these are the books we're using, this is what's available, and this is what kids are hopefully learning from all summer long. And then lastly, just in case this wasn't enough for you, we were super excited this year to be able to work with Michigan Virtual, and we actually worked with them to put together this pretty brief virtual, on-demand, on your own professional learning course that introduces you to all things summer learning from the Michigan Learning Channel. The coolest part about this is that we are offering 2 sketches to complete this course. And it's a lot of the stuff that we've already shared with you, but it's a little bit of a deeper dive into the website and the activity guides and all the opportunities that you have. So if you want a little bit more, we're going to share a link with you so that you can access this. It's in the learner guide as well. And definitely share with colleagues and across your buildings to make sure everybody has access to information about our summer learning program, because we've put a ton of energy into it. We're super excited about it. We really want to make sure it gets used. All right, and now the best part where you get to connect with each other again. And specifically, again, I want to encourage you to think about how you can connect with your engagement coordinators. They're the coolest team of people, and they are ready and waiting to support you in sharing all of this with your families. And they'll be working all summer long to bring this to communities and encourage people to be using our resources. So be thinking about what you're excited about within our summer program, what you're interested in thinking about across the MLC website to support families to understand everything that's available, how you can really fold in what is available to what your school or district is already doing. Really, we're here to support you. So we want to make sure you're using these resources effectively. And how maybe you can connect with your engagement coordinators around making sure that those two things are leveraging each other effectively. And of course, how your engagement coordinator can support your efforts. So we're going to open the breakout rooms up again and give you an opportunity again to self-select, connect with each other, connect with your coordinators. You'll get that 1 minute warning again. There's never going to be enough time, but we hope you can jump in there and get chatting before we come back and close out for today. All right, welcome back. I think it should have kicked everybody back here. And I know we're running close on time. So unfortunately, those breakout rooms were super short, and unfortunately, we don't have a ton of time to share out, but hopefully everybody had a chance to connect and come up with some great ideas. I'm going to invite two things. One, if you have some super exciting ideas that you're thinking about, drop them in the chat because we'd love to see them. And two, coordinators, if you could go ahead, I know we have them. Rachel's already on it. That's exactly what I was going to ask for. If you could make sure you go ahead and drop your emails in the chat so that people can be in touch with you and remind them what region you serve, because we really want everybody to be connected. And then I'm going to hand it back to Annie to close us out today.
Thanks, Matt. This is really fun. Lots of excitement in the room. And I mentioned earlier about student choice and essential ones. So the student planning guide is in the learner guide for you. And essentially it just shows, like, if you set up your week for summer learning, kids, you might say, like, here's the things we want to make sure that you do. But then we have this, like, my time place that you could have kids pick. What do they want to do that week? A virtual field trip or the library trip, or go for a walk. And then in the top right-hand corner, it shows like what the themes are of the week. So we just thought if that's helpful, use it. If not, no stress, you don't have to use it. So that's there for you. And if you've gotten really excited about all the essentials that we've talked about, there's ways to learn about them. So there's the K-3 essentials, and then there are pre-kindergarten essentials that are available for free as well online, and school-wide and center-wide modules available for free. So all of this content, like everything you've had shared with you today, is for free. All of the literacy work is done with amazing researchers, one of whom is in the room with us today, Dr. Kate Roberts. Thanks for coming today. And she's done so much work with our pre-K work. And a little fun fact that you may not know, but Dr. Nell Juke does a lot of work on Molly of Denali. So when you think about the shows on PBS, like, we have some like amazing, amazing people that are supporting this work. So please take advantage of these free resources. And then also please keep in touch with us. Like, one of the things that we talk about, and that I specifically would love to know what kids think of the lessons we're doing and what families think. So if you collect any information or want parents to tell us, like, please tell them to reach out to us and send us an email, or send something on Twitter or Facebook and let us know how they're using things. So there's lots of ways to connect with us in all these areas. We hope next year you might join us back for some more learning, professional learning. But if you missed anything this year, there's a slide that has links to all the videos and materials from all the professional learning we've done this year, and a link for signing up for those newsletters we discussed. The last thing, I know we're short on time. We're going to show that mimic video. And for those of you who are here right now, I do want to start to put that link into the chat for you for the sketches, so you can be maybe filling that out if that's okay, because we are past our time. So we'll get that into the chat for you, and we'll listen to the message from Mimic, who graciously sponsored our work today. I think maybe.
Hello, educators. I'm Pam Harlan, Director of the Mimic Foundation, with an important tip. The Mimic Foundation is here to support you, providing fun as well as needed resources for your classroom. So here's my tip. Join the Mimic Foundation Club now at mimicfoundation.org. Membership is free. Now, once you join, you can easily apply for our grant opportunities every month with a simple click to win things like Chromebooks and document cameras, programmable robots, musical instruments like boom whackers and kalimbas, classroom furniture, books, basic school supplies, and so much more. Since 2018, the Mimic Foundation have given out millions and millions of dollars in grants to teachers like you in schools like yours. So take a minute to join more than 99,000 of your fellow educators at mimicfoundation.org. All of us at Mimic wish you a safe, healthy, and productive school year, and we look forward to supporting you and your students. Thank you so much. Thank you for all you do.
Okay, well, thank you so much. It looks like maybe there's an issue with our sketch form. So let me just resend that right now. Hopefully this will be the right one. If you filled out whatever one we put in the chat, we'll check that. But there, let's try that one, see if that works for you. If you put in there, we are going to do that classroom giveaway. We'll do that tonight. You'll be notified through your email if you are the winner of a classroom set of texts for summer learning. And we just really do read all the feedback you give us. So thank you for all the feedback that you do put on the form. And thanks for all you're doing for children and families in our great state of Michigan. And we hope that you will keep reading, writing, and roaring about literacy and all the work that's happening in our state around these things. So thanks for being with us today. It's a pleasure to be with you, and we will look forward to more opportunities to engage and chat with you in the future.